a Philippines martial arts demonstration that was shown at the Smithsonian Institute.
This is the espada. And during the Spanish time, see, they like this because this automatically, see, will actually stab here. See, the hand's really, see the hand over here? The hand will be like that. And then you're going to hit the position here. So this is a very common one that they use at the time. Because every Filipino at that time wanted to belong to the army. They call soldados. Because they can carry weapons. If you're a commoner, you cannot carry the use of arms. Okay, so you have the other category. So the other category we have is double daga, or single daga. I'm going to go through a knife float, which many people do. You see the hand position? See the hand position here? And when I go like that, this is the flow here, so you can get like that. This is the hand flow. Okay? So this also will come with the doubly daga. Come back here. Sorry. Okay. All right. So the doubly daga, you notice there's a slash we would ride that. I already zoned away from the air. You see the hand position here? You come out. So the hand position is many different ways. If Joel were to use this grip, and I come up here, this is Paulo drill. So I'm going to do this slow so you can see. See the hand position? See the hand position over here? This out. Take this one out, Joel. Take this one out, Joel. Now we're empty hands. Okay? Now, where does the boxing come in? The boxing comes in, at the time, if they wanted to come to America, there is an art called Panantukan, but they also call it Suntukan. And they don't want to call it Suntukan because one of my instructors, Lukai, says they will confuse that for Shotokan, which is a Japanese system. But Suntukan is a Filipino martial art, a Filipino form of boxing. It is based on the Daiga. See? So that's, you can see where you come back to uppercuts, two uppercuts, bolo, punch. That's the format. So all the movements are taken from the Daiga. Okay, I'm just going to show you some basic Panantukan. We monitor that hand here. That hand has to come here. I know it has to come here. That will give me that shot here, which will give me that shot here. So we're always monitoring. They grab more. But they said, if you want to come to America, then you can't grab, you can't elbow, you can't knee. Those techniques. I don't know if you noticed, but I'll try to explain this. When I monitor that hand, there's an eye poke. You can't do that in regular boxing. See? There is here. Over here, it hits the brachial nerve, or what we call the ulnar nerve, which is the crazy bone. I already know that that hand is going to hit the other brachial nerve, that's the throat, back, and that's going to give me the shot back here. Okay, this will give you an idea of what is Panantukan. Like I said, we're going to very rapid. So when we have a next weapon, I'm just going to bring this out. Okay? Usually, we don't have to look for the weapons, but right now we do. So I'm going to have Joel do this for me. You see, because if this is a system, this is angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, and 12. See? So if you look closely, this is still number 1. That's number 2. If I hit number 1, he still can destroy it. Like that. See? Hit number 2, he can still be destroyed. If I hit number 3, he can still be destroyed. Number 4, he can be destroyed. And then number 5. So you follow the format, the hand of the hand blade. Okay, then you have the use of the malong.
I'm not getting it from you. I'm getting it
Every Filipino knows what this is.
That's all.
Am I correct? Right? So malong. A lot of times we weren't allowed to teach this. The Filipino martial art has always been very, very secretive and very, but they always taught it outside the Filipino race. They could be African American, they could be Asian, they could be Hispanic. They just had to be close friends of the family. That is the only stipulation. It has always been taught outside the Filipino race. So I'm going to show you in slow motion. You notice how you monitor the hand? You see where the lock. See the hand position here? I mean, you go very slow because there's no man. It's like that. So we use this a lot. But most people don't know what we're doing. They think, they just think that's something. But actually it is used. Let's do one very slowly. All right, you notice how the elbow will hit? Strike, elbow. You see I come here? When I wrap it, I'm going to turn this very, what's up, Joe? Let's go. See the hand position like that? Okay, this will give you an idea how the Filipino martial art works. Okay, you have double stick, you have a single stick. So it's interchangeable the way we use it. And once we understand, it's like a lot of locking, right? You jab across the middle. You see the hand here? They used to pinch our nipple and then move the base like that and hit with the forearms. That's usually what we used to do. So a lot of the movements that we have, I'm trying to race with time. Okay. But anyway, the movement here, I'm going to show you a picture. Because long before the UFC started, they already were doing this. Only problem, they didn't get any money. And I'm going to show you this picture because I always found this very fascinating. And this before, they used to have this thing. It was outlawed in 1920 in Hawaii. And this is the picture. I don't know if you can see it. This is a match. This is Flora Villarreal and Francisco Raduno. And this here, no armor. You can punch. You can kick. You can elbow. You can knee. You can kick. If you can close the stick range. But the stick range is hard. But it allowed close quarter. Because the stick, Joe, you can do the stick, give another stick. You see the hand position here? You see this throw shot? That's a lock. If I move the base here, that's another lock. Like that. So you can use this. See, many people don't realize that you can use this for many different sources. So we lock. You take, okay. He has taken a lot of shots from me too the last tour. It's very hard to It's very difficult to beat the fall guy, to demonstrate. It's very, very difficult, and I know it is. See, but I'm going to show this just a couple more. Can you see this hand position here? See when I switch the base, see the hit here? You see how I crank the shoulder? That's a lock. So this is an arm break. That's a choke. See? So they lock with the stick on the ground. Joe, I'm going to actually take your shoes off so I can explain something to you. Okay? Now I'm going to do this. One of the biggest compliments I had in Hawaii, they say, this is way back in the 80s, Dan, your Howley students have Filipino movements. A Howley, in case you're not from Hawaii, it means Caucasian. It means without breath. But they compliment us, they move. But if you look at Joel here on the ground, I'm going to let Joel show you on the ground, because you will go to the ground. So when you should get, see, this is his hand. Now watch how they duplicate it with the feet. Okay, same thing, right? Do the next one, Joel. Watch how they come back, push. Watch how the foot comes out. See? Same principle. He's going to pop up with his foot. He's going to do it first with the hand principle of the hand. Now, when he does this, he's going to come out here. He's going to slam dunk it on the ground with his hand. With his hand first. So I want to see the principle. See the hand position when he scoops it down? See? Okay, now watch his foot. See? So they train their foot. In this way, they're very, very similar to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Their feet are like hands. Professor Sauer's in the audience right now. He's one of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructors. So I just wanted to show you so when you take it all the way over with the hands, nice and slow. See how he takes it all the way over with the hands? Now watch, his feet will duplicate that motion. Watch. See? It's going to come out here like that. Once I go, they have pretty much the same trick. Okay, like this. Okay, see the shot? He's going to go here like that. See? That's to the hand position. Then I come back to that position. Okay? I was going to do this thing in a suit, and I thought, I was telling you, there's no way you can do it in a suit and tie. But this will give you a little bit of the understanding of the Filipino martial arts. It is so vast. I was going to make a PowerPoint, but I said, no, it's going to take too time. I wanted to give credit, but these are the people I trained with. And through the years, it marked 34 different instructors I trained in the United States. And when people ask me who's better, I say it's like music. If you ask a guy, what is your favorite song, it's going to be different. If you ask any person, what's your favorite food? If I said, what's your favorite fast food? Some guy would say McDonald's, the other would say Jack in the Box, the other guy would say Burger King, and the other guy would say In-N-Out Burger. Right? So you have so many different, I'm not saying for you to take that. I'm saying that is why there's so many ways. So in the Filipino martial arts, I never like to compare different instructors. I had the sign instructors. For science, you have Cebuanos, Bulanos, Waray, Ilonggos, and you have the southern Philippines, like the Villabrejo system. They have a lot of Silat, Kuntao, which is mainly an Islamic system. You have people from the north, like the Tagalog people, they have their arts. The Ilocanos, they have their art. And they're all good. My father used to tell me, he said, I'm going to take you to this Filipino man. The first thing you got to do, Dan, is close your mouth and open your mind. He said, don't say I learned that before. Don't say I had that before. You just teach it, whoever is teaching it to you, and don't say anything. And some good advice my father gave me, because they're all very, very good. They all have different methods. And you can study with this. Something my father taught me too. Because when I first started training in Filipino martial arts, my dad said, he's going to give me an education. And Ed Parker, my Kempo karate teacher, says, I want you to go there and study your own culture. So I went. I had seen it as a child. I watched them practice with the long asparagus knife. I remember the clang, 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 clang. I saw that at 5 years old. But I never really understood it, really, until about 19 years old. That's a long time, right? Because it's really a very scientific art. There are many ways they do it, but I always liked that. The thing that amazed me is when my dad took these guys, these 5, what you now would call elderly people. They were in their 50s, 59, about 3 in the 60s, the rest of them was in their 70s. And I go, why is my father taking these people? They're old. Because right now I'm 74, so I know. So at that time, I don't consider it old, but I looked around. I go, my gosh, what can they teach me? They don't have a black belt. First mistake I made. Second mistake I made is they don't even have uniforms. How can these guys be good? Second mistake I made. Appearance was a third. They walked out to train me. They're in a Hawaiian shirt, cut off Levi's, flip-flop, and 3 of them were smoking a Scotty like this. Right? That probably was the most humbling day of my life. I mean, I just felt like quitting because they were, particularly in the weaponry phase, they were just so, I was so intrigued of the skill. And I don't think they knew what the skill was. But I was very impressed. Because as my father says, you thought that black belt would mean something. It doesn't mean anything to these guys. And they were just so right and so on. I never judged a person now by the degree, and I never judged a person by the uniform he's wearing. They can have a flashy uniform, but maybe he doesn't have any skill. They can have 2, 3, and I found that out in the real world, right? I'm sure you know that. No matter how many degrees you hold, you realize that's just for a time. Because somebody's always coming up, and knowledge is constantly on the go. It's constantly moving. As we speak now, the martial art changes. Every generation. Can you say, well, George Washington was a father of our country. He had an army. Let's follow his way. Let's wear the same uniforms as George Washington did. Use the same rifle, same ammunition, same tactics. Take them abroad. They're going to die. Because you have to keep up. Everything changes. Everything evolves in martial art. The Philippines is unique. It has a strong Indian background from India. It has a strong Chinese background. It has a strong Indo-Malayan background, right? It has a strong Mexican background, Aztec. People look at me, come on, get out of here. Right. I don't know if people know that. They took Aztecs from the New World, that time was the New World, brought them to the Philippines and dispersed them among the Philippines. Then they took a lot of troublemakers in the Philippines and dispersed them in Mexico. A lot of people don't know that. They're not even aware of that. This goes on for 3 centuries. Now, a lot of Filipinos did jump ship because, they're dying, right, for finding the Dutch and the English and Portuguese. Remember, this is what we call the expansion and Europeanization of Southeast Asia. And as they're dying, different countries say, hey, let's just jump ship. This looks like a nice thing. That's Louisiana. So they jumped off ship in Mexico. My Thai boxer, John Chai, he came back one time and says, I went to do a seminar in Acapulco, Dan. You can't believe who was in my seminars. I remember right away what he was going to say. He said, you had Filipinos. He said, but they're not from Tijuana. They're not from San Diego. They live in the Acapulco, in part of Mexico. This is something I just wanted to share with you because I've learned so much from my students have taught me. Actually, the movement in the United States, you can find the Filipino martial arts in the film industry. They might not call it Filipino martial art because I have at least 50 students in stunts, big names in stunts. Any name major picture, you'll find one of my students choreographing it. A lot of it's Filipino martial art. Where you really see it is in a law enforcement agency. What we call without giving away different positions here, right? There's a lot of people who are more in, name the alphabet, they have it. DAA, ATF, right? FBI. You'll find the Filipino martial arts in. Period. Where you will find it, and you won't think so, that when Dallas had a winning team, right? We taught an exercise called the Huba. So what my student did, Bob Ward, who was the conditioning coach for the Dallas Cowboys, we took the basic Huba drill. We're just going to go too slow. This is the Huba. This is a very basic drill like this. Back here. See the hand position? Okay. We took this out, and we took this position. Just one more time, so you see the hand position? Take this one out. Okay. And when you go like that, see, this is also called Huba. See, this is all Huba. But they call it applied, what's that name now? Applied sport. They don't call it Huba. But it's actually Filipino martial arts, and a lot of professional football teams now do it. But it started with the Dallas Cowboys way back in, I believe, like in the 70s and the 80s when Randy White. In fact, Dallas had 3 people in the double digits in sacking quarterback. All 3 came up to me and said that the Filipino martial arts is responsible for them learning sensitivity. Because sensitivity is so important. When you fight from long range, you're trying to shorten the response time to a visual stimulus. But when you fight in close quarter, you're trying to shorten response time to tactical. When you go tactical, it doesn't have to go to the brain because it computes in the body very, very quickly. You know. So anyway, I hope it didn't take too much time. I'm looking for a watch to see if I can make 25 minutes without going over. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.